showing Hank and Dean kind of doing their separate thing and stuff. They're not like attached at the hip. So like, what is their progression going into this new season?
It's more of the same. I think what happened with Dean in season 5 is changed him, and what's been happening with Hank since season 1 has changed him. So like Hank is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
He moves not even forward, he just moves.
Yeah.
He could be going downhill, up, it doesn't matter. Hank is always moving, and Dean is changing and very comfortable with changes. So it's exactly the same. We really are starting minutes after the last episode.
Okay.
Right. Or after Gargantua, it just picks right up after that moment. So everything is still in play. It's like the season never ended. Keep going.
Are we gonna get the Blackula killer back again?
I would love to. What? It's got so much stuff for
Blackula.
We'll give you spoiler.
We need that back. Yeah, we need William Jefferson again.
Season
We need
coming
him
up
again.
is very Order of the Crowd shy.
I need it. I remember seeing that character and I was like, I love the fact that it's just, he's a blade anagram. He's just like, no, I don't kill vampires, just Blackulas.
Yeah, he's a very specific blade. He's a niche market blade.
And I showed my uncle, because that was his era, like Blackula, and I was like, okay, you're gonna love this show. There's a character, he just kills nothing but Blackulas, and he's like, are you serious? Yeah. And I showed him the episode, and he was just laughing and just dying of it, and I was like, yo, that it's just awesome. I love those little touches inside the show.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't get into this next set of 8 episodes.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
But we know where they are and when they're gonna come back into the story.
They're not dead.
Yeah.
And we have some notes for at least Jefferson.
What? that he's friends with Black women?
That was what?
Oh, that'd be good.
Is that what you meant, or like you had thought?
No, we have actual look at the big board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so
we make notes on a big board, and sometimes don't tell each other we did it. So there are notes on it.
Yeah, I haven't been in the basement a couple days.
So 2 questions. What was it like? How did you come upon the decision to kill Jonas Jr. and how dead is he?
Very dead.
He's 100% dead.
I guess, yeah.
He's very dead unless
unless I have an amazing idea.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
how he's not, but I'm not interested in looking for one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
And if one of us has an amazing idea for it, it'll be that he recorded something for posterity, like to actually bring him back and like, here I come, more seasons. Cumbersome brother. He's pretty dead. He's as dead as anybody in the show. Probably more dead than most 24. You know what I mean? It's pretty damn dead. And he is so dead. Yeah. But alive in a heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He still lives in some.
I think Tracer would come back before Jonas would.
Can't kill me.
Yeah. I mean, he was a Hulk, so who knows? Like
Yeah, like after the sun radiation hits him, if he comes back as like this giant sun god, and he comes back in the past and is worshipped by Mayans.
Oh my god!
Like that.
Perfect. Yeah. Amazing.
There's called an event horizon, and it's a hell of a thing. Yeah. Can't survive unless you're Hulk. Black hole. Jack jump on gamma.
Yeah. It could happen.
It could happen. Yeah.
But I think
there's no reason for it to right
Jonas
now.
just went up in a terrible, fiery blaze.
No, he was sick anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And we needed his money, and we needed
to not have
to write for a character.
Yeah. To be a guy that sacrificed everything for his brother.
Yeah.
Triana Orpheus, what's up with her?
Not dead.
Okay.
Yeah. But I tell you, if anytime I have an inclination to bring her back, it's because of a father and his daughter.
Yeah.
It's never for Dean. Like, Dean is done with that. If she showed up, they both be like, hello, how are you? Fine. That's the end of that. There's nothing there. It's like that childhood, like, and then you walk away and go, God, I don't remember what I did.
Cause I like how they ended it off with her and Dean, where it's like, okay, I'll give them optimism that maybe there could be something, and then just like dip.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
She was so out of there. And then found a better looking guy. But the only time I ever muse on that is because Orpheus has a daughter.
Yeah.
Right. And he has
you have
to deal with that. Like you can't you can't just ignore it.
Yeah. And that's how I think of her now. It's like Triana is Orpheus's daughter, and the thing that he made with his ex-wife, that a horrible situation there. And
but it's always funny how he talks about his ex-wife just kind of like in a very, not that he's afraid of her, but just kind of like
reverently in love with her.
Yeah.
And she left him.
Right.
I'm sure if you get
knows
deeper,
she's maybe not a good person.
I'm sure if you get deeper, you'll find out a lot more.
It's probably afraid of who he became with her, or when she devastated him, or like that's what's scary about scary people is like what they turn you into.
Yeah, or she's a youthful construct of him. Like, I really did make her up in my head.
Right.
You have exes, right? All of you?
Yeah. No, she's like a Charlie from High Fidelity.
Wow.
The one,
I haven't seen that show movie in a minute.
The one that Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The Catherine Zeta-Jones ex, who was like, he just thought she was like the coolest chick in the world.
Yeah, always said the right thing.
She's
really
just so
urbane.
full of shit. She's just
a liar.
Yeah.
I got a question. This looks almost like hip hop Hank or rock star Hank. What is going on with this?
Bieber Hank.
Bieber. Oh, okay, all right, there you go.
It's Hank with a little bit of money.
Spoiler. That's just episode 1. The door opens. Like, what the fuck? It's supposed to be what the fuck. Matter of fact, it's so misleading to see that and go, this show sucks.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, this looks intriguing.
Yeah,
it's different.
You can't really tell, but Dean's got a really nice.
It's a what the fuck.
Like a window pane. You can't see it in a printout like this. Dean's actually got a really nice, like, English tailored suit on there.
Yeah, nice. I can kind of
as
see
much
the
as a
picture
cartoon
just a
can
little
have
bit.
any kind of tailored. But that's supposed to make you feel slightly uncomfortable.
So I'm more intrigued than uncomfortable. Like,
Perfect, awesome. But that's episode 1.
That's like first shopping spree as billionaires kind of moment.
I read that when you guys are bouncing ideas off each other, you talk to each other as the voices.
Oh my god, and each other's voices. It's my nightmare.
Does that help, or do you just do it to piss each other off?
You can't stop doing it. When you
No, we're just being the characters.
when you have
a
a sentiment, you want to taste it. You can't.
No.
And if I say something, that a character would say in my own voice, not funny.
Yeah.
But if we do the voice, it has context and it's funnier. I can't not do it. And it's
certain
worse.
things are only funny because they're coming out of one of those idiots' mouths.
Yeah.
You know, like,
If I said, get out of here, but Brock goes, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So we have to do impressions of our entire cast.
Or just the way, and it's just the way we tick on words and sounds. You know, it's not just any character could have done Scuba.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be for the right character
to do it. Correct. Yeah, so we have to do it in character. Plus, when you're writing, you're playing make-believe.
Yeah.
And we're not the kind of people that like sit at typewriters and, here's something a little bit funnier than yours, and get over my shoulder. I think you mean this. Like, that's not how we write. We sit in a room and we goof for a super long time, and something is so funny that we can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
And just like write down the word spanakopita. That's how we write. just keep saying the same thing over again. It goes through the test of, do I want to keep repeating this joke? Joke's good.
Yeah. Excellent. That's when you know it works.
And then we split off, and then somebody will take all these notes and all us playing make-believe and write an episode. But we don't really write together. We create together, write separately.
How far into production is season 6?
It's waiting for footage.
Yeah, we're only in post-production. We've got 3 episodes that we're waiting to come back from Korea. So we get one of them on Monday.
Ah, cool.
But we had to take a hiatus in January to kind of catch up on the script. So that hiatus has caught up with us. Like the first 7 episodes we finished a couple of months ago, sent off to the network. We're just waiting for these post-hiatus ones to come back. So yeah.
The show's changed dynamically a lot. I mean, 24 is super dead. You don't have as much
extra dead.
You don't have as much 2 characters having just the most petty, nerdy bullshit discussions, which I hope you 2 still have. Are you trying to? Have you tried to reach back to that and just set up situations where you can argue about things like that?
We don't notice that in our show. We don't fetishize it, and we don't sometimes need to get back to that. That is a viewer thing. Like, this is something that someone will watch and go, oh, that's an aspect of the show that I like. These petty back and forths. We barely
I respectfully disagree. Once in a while, some of those things I go, we haven't had a good Smurfs argument in years. You know,
consensus on that.
I don't.
and it's not like we would do it consciously. It's just it is a part of those characters' personalities that like if we don't hit some of that kind of flavor, I feel like we're not writing the same character.
I still do it just as the way I did it before, which is that is funny.
Yeah.
When two people are talking about, when Monarch pisses in the sink, which is coming up.
Yeah.
That whole thing, and the dinner supper argument, all that is the same thing that we used to do. But I did do it as like, let me just do some of the old school.
Yeah.
It never happened. I was just like, that's still funny to me when two people.
Sure.
I think that's more in the spirit that we do it. You might register that we used to do that. I don't.
Just that there were a couple of classic ones that I was like, oh, that's a good henchman banter.
What I'm proud of is never the thing that I ever hear about. You know what I mean? Like, I think my proud's, I don't know what season it was, moment was when they're all in front of the screen and, the Monarch has to eat blood and go, it's jelly. And that back and forth, I was like, this is fucking brilliant. I've never even heard anybody quote it, compliment it, and then, like something ridiculous, like the Smurf argument that was nothing. That was a way to get Brock through a scene. Like, I didn't think about
Well, I always like all the little small stuff, like the, David Bowie, I think it was like season 4 or whatever, where like he died behind the screen, and it was like, we already know who you are, and he was all talking about which albums they liked of his and stuff. I always like that kind of like banter where they just mention little small things here and there, and it's like,
but that was not done with any thought of like a repartee. I just want to make goof on David Bowie.
No, but it's funny though, because I know it wasn't because they really came off like, that doesn't sound like something they just thought up of. It just came random. It's like, okay, let's do this. Let's throw that in there.
Well, and each character has a very specific voice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that one person can say and another person can't. Like 21 can say very specific things. He's a geek. Yeah. And then watching Ward do nothing but watch all TV all day. Some of the TV is their job, but they're clearly watching like growing pains in one of those monitors. So they would have a lot of crazy references too. They're with each other 24/7. So, and Billy and White. So you have the people that are always with each other can say very specific things. Yeah. And the people that just meet each other, very specific things. They can't have that kind of dynamic. So we'll always do it because we have so many groups of two that usually Jackson and I do both the voices for.
Do you have trouble distinguishing those voices in your mind, keeping them separate, because they all
sound like my head. For he's actually good at it. I suck. The only one that I have accept as an actual person is Billy, Dr. Girlfriend. Oh. Anytime I hear that voice, I'm like, oh, she's good. Like it's first of all, it's female. I never hear a man, and it's never me. But Billy, I register as like, that's one of my better voices, but I know it's me.
Dr. 21 Girlfriend just feels like
21 is just me. It's just like, oh, that's me talking on television.
Right.
Yeah. But Dr. Girlfriend, I hear it as like, oh, what she said. Like Elizabeth didn't even know I was Dr. Girlfriend for the longest time. It's in the credits.
She's already there.
It's in the credits. And she's just like, that's you.
Great.
I think the voice of Dr. Girlfriend threw everybody off. I remember watching the first season, and I was like,
so good.
They really got Harvey Feinstein for this? This is awesome. And then it was like, I think you did the panel, and you was like, no, we didn't get Harvey Feinstein. It was just your voice. I was like, oh, okay. Shit.
And we never dropped it. Like, if any character would disappear, it would be her. Nope. Forever. Keep eating it. And then fall in love with her. And then stop calling her a guy.
Do you have an idea in your head when you create a character, like this character will last, or this is just kind of one of those funny cameos with a hilarious name?
A bit of both, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we think we're making new canon, and other times we think we're making a throwaway guy. That, like, he'll write a guy and be like, throwaway, and then I'm like, I love him. I'm going to write a whole episode about him. And then,
do you have examples of either? Like when you kind of just got lost?
Well, the entire show is that. The entire show is naming. We just throw out a name and someone will pick it up.
I'm trying to think, like the last time. It's hard to remember that like most of the core cast started that way.
Yeah,
but like,
everybody but the Venture Brothers.
I feel like Killinger's maybe the last one.
But
Who should have been a one-off, and then
there was almost a bet quality about that. I'm like, we cannot write that's done. We can't write. You're like, no, I can write for him.
I love Killinger, and that was like that felt like oh, it's Killinger. I just like all these little characters.
Once I saw him come together like his look and everything else, and I saw that people responded well to that episode. I was like, oh, there's a guy that I think people dig, and we don't want to overuse him, but like he's got to be a little more than
Evil Mary Poppins. Well,
yeah. But and then there's plenty that I just lose interest in after a while. And,
yeah, some that you think
there's
like,
nothing here I
love
can have
this.
that
No,
much fun with.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
What about?
Guys, we need to wrap it up.
Oh, guys, one more question. What about the new season? You think is going to surprise fans of everything up until now the most?
That we can change everything and it still feels like the Venture Brothers.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
There you
really
go. Well said.
surprising. You know what I mean? Like nothing is the same, and you're gonna be like, oh, nothing has changed.
Cool. Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Love it, man.
It's been a pleasure.